Pots, Pans, and Pioneers. Today we're making beef empanadas, what I like to refer to as Gringo empanadas. So let's get started. So in order to make our empanadas really easy, I thought I'd try out a little gadget that I've had for years. I've never opened it, believe it or not. It's a 4-piece dough press set, and it comes in all these different little sizes. It was really $3.50, and I got it at Ross. I don't remember what year I picked this up. I've just had it for a long time. I've never even opened it, but tonight, since we're making empanadas, and this makes calzones too, turnovers, and a whole bunch more different recipes. It even does pierogies. There's a smaller one that makes it really easy to do pierogies if you like pierogies. So this is, I would consider this a turnover, like for fruit turnovers, dessert turnovers. This is probably a little smaller, probably for lightly filled maybe. And this is the size I would use for an empanada. And the sizes aren't really on here, but I would say there's these sizes. So I would go with this mid-grade size over here. If you're having a party though, empanadas for the smaller size, these are probably 2 bites. This might make a great little appetizer. I don't know. I think they're just really handy. So I've not used this, and I'm gonna try putting my empanada dough on here, filling it, and then clamping it down and see if it makes it, you know, any easier. I think the time saved is gonna be in the crimping. So let's get started with our empanadas. Okay, we're just gonna use grass-fed organic ground meat, and we're going to just brown it up in the skillet, and we'll add all of our spices here. And I'm just using 1 pound. So we're just going to kind of ground this up. Got our stove on medium-high. And I'm going to sprinkle some garlic powder. And some cumin. Now, there's all kinds of empanadas. There's Puerto Rican empanadas, there's Cuban empanadas, there's Mexican empanadas. You know, Mexican food is just mainly 3 or 4 ingredients, you know, created 1,000 ways. So I'm going to do beef empanadas with cheese, and I'm going to do rice and beans on the side. But you could put all of that in an empanada. An empanada is really just a baked burrito, in my mind. I don't know. But if you want the traditional way of cooking empanadas, you're not going to want to follow my video. There's plenty of videos on ethnic correct empanadas. This is just my way of doing them. And I'm not a cooking channel, per se. I'm just a vlog. I'm just showing you what I'm making for dinner. So, I've got garlic powder and cumin in here, and I'm going to let this brown up. We're going to add a little bit of salt. And I'm just using, you know, kosher salt. So we're going to let this brown up, and we'll be back. Okay, our meat is browning up real good, I'm going to go ahead and add some dehydrated bell peppers. And they're just the tri-peppers, dehydrated onion. And get that all mixed in here. Turn this down to about medium. I'm going to add a little bit of just some white wine. And I'm just going to put a little bit, probably 1/4 of a cup. Turn the stove up a little bit. We're still on about medium high. And I'm just going to get all the alcohol to cook out of this and leave in the, the good flavor. And we want the ground meat to be, pretty ground up, pretty small, because we're going to want to put this into our, our empanada dough. Now, traditional empanadas, you hard boil the eggs and you remove the yolk and you chop up the whites and you put it in here as well. I'm not going to do that. Not because I don't have eggs, just because that's not what I'm going to make tonight. But a traditional empanada has hard-boiled eggs, and it also has olives. You can use black olives or green olives, and I'll probably add a few olives. I'll have to look to see if I have any. Okay, we're going to let this brown up and cook down a little bit, and we'll be back. Okay, I have a few little black olives. I'm going to put just a few in here. I'm not a huge fan of olives, but I know that empanadas have them in there. So we'll let these cook down. All right. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to get our dough. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I bought my dough already ready to go, and to make this a little faster. But again, traditional empanadas, you're going to want to roll out your dough. I'll leave a link to a recipe for empanada dough in the event that you can't find it at your grocery store at the bottom of the video in the description box. So let's get over to the area where we're going to fill them. Okay, for those of you who want to buy your empanada dough, this is typically where they sell frozen bread or frozen doughs, like dumplings, like French bread that's frozen, all that. This is where you would find this stuff. But this is a company called Goya. And for those of you across the pond, UK, Australia, I don't know if they sell empanada dough over there. You could use a crescent dough or puff pastry if you wanted to. They're just going to taste a little bit different. Again, I'll leave the link to for a recipe for these in the description box. What I like about these is they're ready to go. So they've got little tissues to separate them. So they're usually pretty fast. What the longest part is the crimping. So get going with getting them in the shell. So what we want to do is take our first dough, and the dough is going to be fairly sticky. You could flour this or spray it. I'm going to try it without and see how it goes. And this is probably going to be barely the right size. We'll see what happens. Okay, and then I have some grated cheese here. And what I'm going to do is just Mexican cheese, a blend of Mexican cheeses. I like empanadas with Chihuahua cheese, or the queso type of cheeses. I don't have any on hand. I haven't seen any here in Arkansas, but I'm going to keep looking. So what we're going to do is just add 2 tablespoons per empanada. I try to get 2 tablespoons. Sometimes you only have 1. And let's just see if this takes a little less time. I don't know. So, and all you do is you close it, and you're going to press really hard. Boom. Let's see if it sticks. Perfect. Yeah, this is going to save a little bit of time. So let's do another one. My kids love empanadas. My daughter especially, you go to a Mexican restaurant, she's looking for empanadas. When she was growing up, she always loved the chocolate filled empanadas with chocolate sauce and ice cream. It was her favorite. Just gonna see how much I can get. And you're gonna want to bake these on I would say 375 to 400 for about 20 minutes. Just watch it, because everybody's oven's so different. I hate to always give times. So let's see. So it really closes it pretty tightly. All right. I'm going to get a baking pan, and we'll be back when I've got them all laid out and ready to go in the oven. You could also deep fry these. For those of you that aren't really caring about calories, you could throw these in a deep fryer on 400 for 5 or 10 minutes, and they would be awesome fried. I'm going to bake mine. So let me get a baking pan, and we'll be back. Okay, I've got my empanada dough laid out here. I realized I did the first ones with no cheese. So let's try this. This little gadget would be great for even little pizza pockets. It's a great little gadget. I'm glad I didn't have to spend much on it. I don't know why I've not used this. I just don't think about it when I'm trying to do something really fast. So I have no idea why. But if you run across one of these at one of the outlet stores, grab it up. But I hope you never have to pay more than $3.50. So these come in a pack of, I believe, 18. And if you run out of, meat, you can always do the cheese empanadas. I close that up again without putting cheese. You watch me do that? I'll add cheese on top of them. For those of you who watch my videos and expect perfection, you're just never going to get it. I have a lot of criticism on my cooking videos, believe it or not. I'm not sure why, but my family is very happy with my cooking. So I don't know. One of the most watched videos I have is the chicken pot mini pies, and it has a lot of traction, but gets a lot of criticism, and I don't know why at all, but I think people like to use YouTube for an outlet for their frustrations. I don't know. I'm not real sure. Okay. If you don't close it really tightly, they're not going to close, so. One last one to do, and we will get these in the oven. I have a little bit of extra filling, but I'm just gonna add it to my rice. Okay. And this one, see how it didn't close very well? Just gonna close it back here. It's probably because I didn't have it on the little wheel very well. It was kind of lopsided. Okay. I'm gonna get these in the oven, and we'll be back to show you the finished Gringo empanadas. We'll be back. Okay, the empanadas are out of the oven. I've let them sit here. I've sprinkled a little bit more cheese on top. You don't have to do that. That's just how I like them. And I think I'm going to cut one open and we're going to try. Let you see the insides. Now, if you don't want to do the whole rice and beans side on the side, you could do this with cheese nachos if you wanted to, or, you know, even just chips and salsa. So there's the inside. These are really super yummy. I'm telling you, they're addictive. Oh my God. I like to do these with a side of queso and dip them in queso and eat them. They're so yummy. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll try a fast and easy way to make empanadas. And I'll see you on the next video. Everybody have a blessed day.